culture war in full swing, buddy. I'm gonna try to fight back. I just don't know how. But either way, I appreciate y'all watching these silly attempts of mine here.
My time for love is here. No more being alone. Time for love again. My time for love is here. My time for love is here. No more being alone. Time for love again. My time for love is here. My time for love is here. No more being alone. Time for love again. My time for love is here.
That's Love Again by Moon Soul, and this is WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. It's your old pal, Jake, and I just thought I'd goof around a little bit tonight with all you guys before Environmental Coffee House. In case you didn't know, Left Reckoning is on right now, and, that's the better progressive show. It really is. But if you're just looking to blow off some steam with a man of color, poor joke, I apologize. Retracting that. If you're looking to blow off some steam with a goofy internet effect, that's what I got. I'm looking to chat with the audience a little bit, see what we might find interesting in a series of goofy one-off tabletop RPG sessions. Because I think that clip in the very beginning, which was Liberal Redneck's most recent video, it's Trey Crowder, pretty much hit the nail on the head. The problem with our side of politics is not having correct intentions. It is communicating those to people that don't care about politics. It's the vibe, man. We got a vibe problem, and it's not even amongst each other. It's even when there's leftist infighting, it's healthy infighting. I think it's outside of our group. It's reaching folks who don't even know who the vice president is, because a lot of those folks still vote. A lot of people who don't know who their governor is nonetheless have strong opinions about who the president should be. Strong opinions based on basically nothing. So that's what we got to get over, gang. Got to figure it out. And hey, the good news is it's probably going to be a fun process reaching those people. It's not going to be fun suffering through the next 4 years, especially after the news that Trump's planning on installing loyalist generals. I mean, we knew he was going to do this already, but now he's just openly talking about it. It's not going to be fun. And hopefully we do have elections in 4 years. But you know what? If by some miracle we make it to those next elections and they are allowed to be held freely and fairly, if we don't change our sales pitch by then, we're gonna at best just get another neoliberal, another delay, and then the next regime, and then another delay, and then another regime of right-wing authoritarian madness, and then more Weimar Republic left. In other words, there's no time like the present for us to learn how to talk to regular folks. So that is what we must do. Yeah, Wicked Foxy Dragon. Dems are boring. Republicans leave us with cliffhangers. That's true. That's true. You have a very different definition of fun than I. Well, look, it'll be fun in that we'll be deciding what is the most practical, non-political thing that we can work politics into. For example, if we did a quiz show is not inherently non-political, or excuse me, it's not inherently political. It's just about facts. But if, for example, on that quiz show, we were going to say once every, like a news quiz, but once every show it was who voted for this bill, and we introduced the bill like, hi, this is the Affordable Care Act, and this is a bill to renew it at the same funding. That's the Health Care Act that provides yada yada services for millions of people. Who voted to support it? Boom. Suddenly we got normies learning about what they are or are not supporting. But it's boring. Oh no. Jake, are you in witness protection? No, ma'am. I am enjoying experimenting. Truth be told, this was the initial plan for how I was going to present myself. Then it changed into maybe I could VTube with like the little Pixel Jake thing, but it wasn't until like a year and a half into this that I figured out how to do the original thing. I'm not going to do it regularly because it actually turns out it's more of a bother than just turning on the camera. Let's say hi to the rest of the gang. Well, starting with Wicked Foxy Dragon, hello. Donald James X, hello. Finish up what you gotta finish up. Oh, DJ X, you were first. Brother man. Good on you. Yeah. All right. Well, gang, here's a regular segment on WYCD that I want to do. I want to start asking people about what's good in your area. So, for example, if in your neck of the woods you have a law that you like a local piece of legislation that you like, or a local government program that you like, what I'd like to do is invite people on to come talk about it. And bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Fair enough, Fox. Yeah, that works too. We could also look at what you don't like in your area. But I want to focus on what's working in government, because the Republicans are the ones that focus on what's bad about government, because their goal is to discourage people from supporting government at all. They would rather things be privatized. I'm just saying, I think we show people what works. And if it works, then you can push for that at your level. So if it's something local, if it's like, a millage, a simple millage. The people in the last election voted to fund public schools. Just straight up talking about that. Just coming on and saying, yeah, we supported the millage. I think that was good. And hey, every time you see a millage on your ballot, read what it supports. If it's schools, vote yes. It's essentially raising property taxes in the area to pay for schools. They almost always pass, but sometimes they don't. And if they don't, it's good for people to hear at least what the thing is. Yeah, Foxy saying we can talk and brainstorm about what would make bad stuff good. Absolutely. And look, gang, I'll also toss it out there. How do you get a bill in front of Congress? That's a great question. To be continued. What's up, Pinkerbell? Good to see you. How do you get a bill in front of Congress? Well, you contact your representative and you ask them to put your idea into formal writing and present it on your behalf. That's generally what you do. That's something we could do as well. You know, I love playing music straight off of audio, but the problem is I don't have they don't have volume controls on this. I can only blast it. It's unfortunate. What if your rep sucks? That's a great question, Foxy. Let me tell you. Irrelevant as to whether or not you should ask them to do a thing. Even if they're definitely going to say no, they should be aware that they're going against the grain of at least some of their constituency. So I say, pitch them assuming, even though you know that they probably serve devious masters, pitch them assuming that they're going to do as their constituents say. You know? Climate teacher John Jay, my representative sucks, totally. Write him and bug his office anyway. Good on you, John. Good on you. It's a good thing to do. And the thing is, you don't know that necessarily they're not looking to suddenly go in a new political direction. So short of hog tying them, how do we get them to listen? Well, that's it. Persistence, hope, and persistence working in tandem. You don't know if maybe you're going to hit them on a day where they're looking to earn some political capital because maybe they know they've got a scandal coming up. Thing number two, also, maybe they don't realize. I mean, if they're a representative you hate, odds are they're the sort that don't really have that deep of an understanding of how the world works because they haven't had to, because they serve capital, which means they can be dummies and get into office. So they might not even realize that they are coming out in support of something good. They might not know that they're supposed to fight it. Oh, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you're sleeping better, John Jay. Yeah, Pinkerbell, be so annoying they remember you. That's also good. And Foxy, yeah, I bugged them all so much, I think I got the spam folder automatically. Good for you. Good for you. I don't hate them, says Foxy. They seem to hate me. Well, good. F them. Make their lives harder if they're going to be like that. But truthfully, if we just keep going and we just keep tossing ideas at them and show an interest in these things, we may win by attrition. And it's not glorious. It's not going to be anything that changes things all at once, obviously, by the very nature of it. But one bit at a time, these people might realize, oh, hey, I can get away with doing some actually decent legislation, and the MAGA folks don't even notice. In fact, when they do notice, they don't even care because this legislation is so local that there hasn't been time nationally to come up with some ridiculous reason why we should be against it. So I would say do it for the sake of, for the sake of putting enough lines in the water. That was a joke, Jake. Fair enough. Donald James X, never compromise your core progressive values. That is what you fight for, and something they can never change. They can never change or take away from you. Yeah, I agree. Climate teacher John J., are you familiar with 198 Methods of Nonviolent Resistance by Gene Sharp? No, I'm not. Of nonviolent action. Brandeis University is apparently a place that carries it. I'm trying to look it up online. I guess I can share this tab. All right. Korczyk's class.
Hi, folks, and welcome to Korczyk's class, where we analyze and review some of the major topics in global politics. Today, we're going to be looking at the topic of nonviolence as a way to approach conflict and try to resolve conflict. And what do we think of when we think of nonviolence? We might think of some of the really big examples of nonviolent movements, things like Gandhi in the quest for because those conflicts will still arise, we need some methodology to be able to approach those conflicts. And one of the foremost political scientists in nonviolent methods of action was Dr. Gene Sharp, who was the founder of the Albert Einstein Institution for Nonviolent Action. And the Albert Einstein Institution's definition of nonviolent action is that it is a technique of socio-political action for applying power in a conflict without the use of physical violence. Nonviolent action may involve acts of omission. That is, people may refuse to perform acts that they usually perform, are expected by custom to perform, or are required by law or regulation to perform.
So earlier when I was saying we should strongly consider getting into local office as a step for safety. This is one of the things that you can do if you become a mayor or even a city council person. You can perform an act of omission. Have we traveled back in time to the 1980s? This is giving me Project 2025 PTSD. I mean, I think it's mostly TSD. I think it's current traumatic stress, or possibly pre-TSD, because it's coming, baby.
Or acts of commission. That is, people may perform acts that they do not usually perform, or are not expected by custom to perform, or are forbidden to perform, or a combination of the two. To help achieve this, the Albert Einstein Institution developed 198 methods of nonviolent action, and you can find a link to these in the video description below.
Let's look at this freeze frame. Public speeches, letters of opposition or support, declaration by organizations and institutions, signed public statements, declarations of indictment and intention, group or mass petitions, communications with the wider audiences. Ooh, here we go. The wider audience. Slogans, caricatures, and symbols, banners, posters, and displayed communications, leaflets, pamphlets, and books, newspaper and journals, record, radio, and television, skywriting, and earthwriting. Ooh. Interesting. Methods of social non-cooperation. You can do a social boycott. I got selective social boycott. That's the B4 movement, by the way. My gosh. Lysistratic non-action, excommunication, or interdict. suspension of social sports and activities, boycott of social affairs, student strikes, social disobedience, withdrawal from social institutions. Yeah, these are interesting. Lysistratic non-action. Oh, a sex strike, or more formally known as lysistratic non-action, is a method of nonviolent resistance in which one or more persons refrain from or refuse sex with partners until policy or social demands are met. It is a form of temporary sexual abstinence. Sex strikes have been used to protest many issues from war to gang violence to policies. The effectiveness of sex strikes is contested. I'm all for it. We should, I think, specifically target the folks most likely to be having sex with Republicans. So if you are on Grindr, the next time the RNC is in town, look, I know it's fun to bang people who are publicly straight, but you know, the time has come to not come. You should genuinely consider just no longer rewarding this behavior. There needs to be some sort of punishment for supporting evil. And yes, this is a fine one. Bob Carmody, good to see you. This is an Animal Collective video, right? It was from, I can tell you, it was from Korchik's Class, a channel with 28,000 subscribers. Korchik's Class. That's it on YouTube. Donald James X, dang, are you bringing up the 4B movement? Sorry, guys. If anybody replies to me, I'm away from the keyboard. No worries. You don't have to reply to this if you don't want. But yes, I talked about that very briefly. Wicked Foxy Dragon. That would be hard to do with Republicans since I don't think they have sex. Well, I did mention their most well-known sexual partners, which would be the community of Grindr in any town where there is a Republican convention. Yeah, the 4B movement. Wicked Foxy Dragon says, I mean, there's a women's movement actually doing that now. That's a good one. Yes, it did work for the Athenians, Pinky. Yes, Groove Dragon. Make anyone working for Elon a pariah. Quit Elon. Also boycott Twitter. Quit Elon. Never Tesla. Quit Elon. If you work in his factories, if you work for one of his companies, or etc. If you are a domestic worker at any of his houses, quit Elon. Del Martinez. Wow, what did I walk into? We were talking about methods of nonviolent action, basically. One of which is the 4B movement. Pinky asks, what are the 4 Bs? I'm still unclear on that part. It's essentially dating, lovemaking, I think flirting, and something else. The Bs, though, are not in English. It's from Korean? Korean. I think it's Korean. One second. What are the 4? What? This is not it. Oh, here we go. Japan. 4B or 4 No's is a radical feminist movement that emerged in South Korea. Everyone, Dick, I was right. It was Korea. South Korea during the mid to late 2010s. No dating, getting married, having sex, or having children with men. That is what it refers to. Yeah. Nadia Yvette Chambers, the Your Body, My Choice bit effectively also extends to RAPE. Absolutely. Boom. Patrick Thibodeau, good to see you. I'm counting on the fact that Republicans are incompetent and they are led by a moron. Sure, they have some hardcore people behind Project 2025, but I think they want to stay on the down low. Yeah, I think that's correct. I don't like that so much of our plans now revolve around hope, but that's not an unreasonable hope to have. They are incompetent, and they may, in an attempt to keep things appearing normal, accidentally keep too many things functioning normally to get away with permanence in their corruption. That said, I mean, there's just no way around it. It's going to be a brutal 2 years. Jake be fighting Rule 34. Everybody knows Rule 34. Brush your teeth. Is that not Rule 34? Let me look it up. What is Rule 34? Yep. Kidding. Hey, gang, just to Sandy, at the end of this show, we will go into your show. Neato. Just to keep in line with the topic at hand, if we do a live tabletop RPG thing, what system should we use? I'm going to ask that it be free so that everybody who participates doesn't have to pay anything, and that it be simple so that we can just pull it up on the screen. Free, simple tabletop RPG games. Here's what I'm looking at right now. Let's try this actually. Free, simple tabletop RPG games. Y'all see any of this? Oh, a D6 system. It's a role-playing game system published by blah, 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 blah. While the system is primarily intended for pen and paper, variations of the system has also been used in live-action role-playing games and miniature battle games. Hey, neat. We're just looking for something kind of like GURPS that will allow us to... It's not free, though, Dungeons & Dragons. There we go. Ironsworn, a narrative RPG that's Vikingish. That's interesting. Ooh. Oh, Rhesus. This looks promising. The Anything RPG. Oh, shit. And it's got stick figures. Okay. It'll probably be this. This looks good. Oh, I didn't show you guys. Here's what we're talking about. Yeah. That looks pretty neat. Seems like something fast, simple, and fun. That's what I'm looking for. Only 4 pages, yes. And a surprisingly deep system. Nice. Okay. I think this is what we'll use to put on a show for folks. Good on you. You can play Dungeons & Dragons for free. You just need the dice. Okay. I don't think Roll20 is free, but I might have an account. It's more of a gathering space, but I haven't dived very deep into it. Fair. Groove Dragon. Look at the resistance fighters in World War II and how they operated under the Nazi regime. Organized in small cells to derail plans to round up immigrants. This shit got real. We must respond in kind. I agree. I think we should have small groups of people we trust locally, but you got to have a goal in mind. Is your goal to hide the minority being hunted? Is your goal to transport them to safety? I would say start with your goal and then look to your people and find who amongst your people can help you with the goal. If you got a spare room in your house, you got someone you can hide indefinitely. If you've got a car and a can-do attitude, you can get someone to a border if they need it. Good to prepare. Will there be space for newbies? I think that would be part of the fun. I think it would be fun to have like a group of 4 players with at least one of them having never played such a game before. Also leaning into the idea that we're trying to gather new people to us. What? Patrick Thibodeau, back in the 80s, my neighbor used to make his own D&D game pieces with pen and paper. All we had was dice. I think that's a great way to do it. Yes, Wicked Foxy Dragon. Just be careful promoting this because the other side might pretend to need help just to out people. Totally true. And that is why you should keep your groups small. Small and able to dissolve quickly. One thing that will help us is if we get a lot of folks understanding the seriousness of what's going on. Del Martinez, pen and paper, nope, doesn't compute. Gene Sharp was the Color Revolution CIA coup guy. Interesting. Good Lord. Oh, thank God. Yeah, we're not in a good situation, and I'm not going to pretend like we are, but there will be good things about any situation. One of the good things about the worst villains America has ever lazily shat out, winning the election, is that they are stuck with each other and they will begin to hate each other, and watching them turn on one another is going to be delightful. This is the apex of their power, right in about 80 days. The absolute zenith of their power. And during it, I wonder how much of their precious time they're going to spend fighting each other and carrying out petty crusades. Elon making a pest of himself at Mar-a-Lago is hilarious. I'm doing my part, says Sandy. Adopting another cat, rescuing from its owner's passing, and this baby is 17 years old. Oh, you're a good egg, my friend. Foxy, I do think it's kind of funny Trump hasn't mentioned RFK. Yeah, good Lord. It turns into No Exit, the play by Sartre. I'm unfamiliar. Yeah, Environmental Coffee House. I'm putting up a big American flag. We're taking it back without DJT's head on it. You know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Sandy. 1 second. Oh. In fact, let me play this. Not bad.
This the way a dollar bill like the Mayan drinks downtown, separated from my own separate ways.
Too loud. What is this? Porno jams? Look. Yes. Oh, I know it does, but the oligarchs are not true Republicans. The oligarchs are the ruling class who relies on Republican voters not knowing how anything works in order to get away with stuff. Really, they all want to be king, and they're petty little punks. I'm in Texas. Did porn change? Yes, this is it now. Yeah. If you'd like, you can jizz now. That's fine. But this is pornography these days. Well, says Gulf Coast Grit. Looks like we're in for a bit of a bumpy ride, eh? Yeah. Oh yeah. And look, we're gonna ride it out. We're going to be persistent. Yeah, Wicked Foxy Dragon. They scream about not defiling the flag. In the same breath, they order one with Trump's face on it. Yeah. Environmental Coffee House. We need to study how Russians live because that's how we will be living. I noticed. And I noticed this at the beginning of the second invasion of Ukraine, that Russians have the same problem we do, which is an utter disinterest in what is going on. The average Russian, gets interviewed at a strip mall, and they end up saying they don't really know why their country invaded Ukraine, but they support the invasion nonetheless. And that they're aware that the rest of the world basically was against Russia doing it, and that it's the rest of the world who are the bad guys. And that's the kind of thinking that is just classically American. So yeah, we should study how Russia lives, but not to replicate it, but to avoid it. I mean, are they? Gulf Coast Grit says, Jake, I just think Russians are worn down at this point. I think they don't care. I think your average Russian does not care about the world outside of Russia, just like us, the average American. Yeah, the left is worn down, but the average American is, they don't know what is going on. They don't know how any of this works. They just half-heartedly participate in the system. Jake, why are you silhouette? Let's see that beautiful mug. Thank you, Patrick Gibido. I just want to mess around with this. I've never really done a full show in silhouette, and I've thought literally since I was in the news industry that it could be a cool look. I also like that literally any frame of it works as a thumbnail then, and it looks kind of cool. Disrespecting the flag does not stop at putting Trumpo, the loser clown's face on it. Specifically, flag etiquette says not to wear it as clothing, not to decorate with it, and in spite of... Look, I think using it to make a political statement is the highest use of the flag. Ooh. And what you see since 9/11, you are not to have more than one in a room at a time. Fair enough. Jake, can you do any color? For my silhouette, no. I've only been able to figure out how to do it as totally white or totally black. But let me jump down to totally black. Ooh, that's a little iffy. Let me mess around just a wee bit. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's crisp. That's a crisp look. I kind of like that. I think black works better, and it's frankly more suiting of the mood I feel we're all in. But instead of the American flag, I don't know if I want to go back to Halloween. I definitely don't want to go to the Mystery Machine. I just do orange. Orange is good. Boo! Oh, I'm assuming that's talking about Trump there. This channel supports blackface. Shaking my head. Okay. Okay, so we're just trying to get me in trouble now. Zoinks! Environmental Coffee House. Okay, I need to listen and get ready. I have a worldwide show tonight. We need to know what the rest of the world is doing. We have been election-centric. Good point. Good point. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to turn our attention outward for a while. I do want to remind y'all, in this coming time, in the next 3 months, a little less now, prepare. Prepare to protect yourself and to protect others. And the number one way you can do that is by, for yourself, it's to delete data of yours off places that do not need it. If you have your data in on like a health app that tracks, say your menstruation, for example, shut it down. Request that your data be pulled off that ideally, but definitely uninstall that app, because in a corrupt coming group of administrations, let's say you even travel through a state that criminalizes healthcare for women and people that can have that can give birth, they could use it against you. Delete that. It's not worth the risk any longer. In addition, I would recommend no longer using services such as 23andMe. Even if they say they're not going to sell your data, or that does not necessarily mean that they won't turn your data over to the government if a corrupt administration requests it. And then look to your own literal home. Do you have space for a refugee? Are you willing to take in refugees? They might come from within the country. You might have to do that. If you think you could have a space, if you got an old room full of exercise equipment that you never use and a spare bed, it might be now might be a good time to start clearing it out, just in case you gotta take somebody in. And then finally, look at the live stream I did yesterday. You don't even have to watch the live stream. In the description, there are links for a guide to running for office. There's the general website. There is specifically the how to start running guide. And there's the guide that tells you about what positions in your area are going to be available to run for. It will be immensely helpful if we grab onto any levers of power that we can. It'll be helpful in the immediate, because as the Trump administration does some of the most vile things we can fathom, we will need people in local positions of power to ignore immoral and unethical orders, and to frankly hinder them in any way we can. But also, to a larger point. Even if no moment of heroism presents itself, first of all, good. I hope that ends up being the case. But still, you will know about running for office. You will know more than you do now about running for office. And that will be invaluable. That'll even be invaluable if all we all do again is volunteer for another campaign as workers. Good. We'll be educated workers. We'll be people who are more comfortable talking about this stuff. So run for office. The guide is in yesterday's stream. Do not forget to dance, says climate teacher John. You are correct, sir. Get down rather than go down. Oh, he does. From time to time, he manages to unclog his ears and listen to his old pal Foxy. Del Martinez. But I was going to start working out tomorrow. You can do both. You can do both. When you're clearing out all those machines from that room, you're going to be using your muscles. You see? You'll finally get an exercise out of them. Tinkerbell, absolutely never would I use 23andMe. LOL. I've been on that hater train from the jump. Yeah, it does freak me out. It does. Hell yeah. Dance break? Y'all want to get down? Y'all want to get down? Okay. Was I can walk on a wheelchair. That was the yellow video.
Don't give me this. Don't give me lip. That's what you get when you act a fool. Just one of these days, you're gonna get played. Better watch your back. It's gonna get personal. Don't give me this. Don't give me lip. That's what you get when you act a fool. Just one of these days, you're gonna
Hey,
get
it's so easy to look cool in
Better watch
shadow.
your back. I'm gonna get back when I feel like it's gonna get personal. It's gonna get personal.
I'm not doing kick turn though. Dance break needs to be a regular thing. I'm gonna start charging for it. I'll tell you what. The problem is I don't dance good enough to actually charge for it. So I think it would be funny if we started charging extraordinarily humble amounts. Like if we're like, all right, for a 35-cent super chat. Oh shit. Agreed. I got $2. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's about right. That's about what we're talking here. Oh, another thought brought on by music stuff. I found out it's really easy to clip a song. That's much easier for editing. What do you guys think about a cappella karaoke? Do you think, like, Wicked Community, would you guys want to come on like a call-in show? But the point of the call-in is to do an a cappella karaoke. So you don't even sing a whole song. You sing just a chunk of a song. I would like to consider that. Yes, sir, Groove Dragon. Shake it, break it, and please don't forsake it. Get down, be in the groove, and on the move. I love it, brother man. See, now, Foxy, I think that would be part of the fun. I think that would be part of the fun, especially if, like, the goal of a cappella karaoke is to, see if people can guess the song you're going for. Okay, I'll open it up. We'll take a whack at it. Oh, hell yeah, Bob Carmody. I'll sing Pretending to Care by Todd Rundgren. I dig it. I think you win a cappella karaoke if you get the stream taken down. If you're able to get the stream taken down because the algorithm lords think you're stealing a song, you've won. I think that's the ultimate goal. Groovy. Oh, it's not really. It's all humans competing against the algorithm. I think we collectively win if we get somebody on here that does it. Some Spanish music. Here's the issue. I have this website which I have licenses to these songs, and I don't know actually who here is Spanish. So I have to go off of like I have to go off what a corporate overlord thinks is Spanish when I type in the word Spanish. I bet we'll get some Spanish guitar. Let's see. I do. Oh. Brady Gray. That doesn't bode well. All right, we can go a little more generic. Let's go Latin. It's generally... We got 3 minutes. We're going to close it out. Ugh. We're going to close it out. Nope, I'm sorry, gang. Del, I will sincerely look for some Spanish music. Because I do enjoy it. But we're going to close it out with one more. Probably not this, because I don't remember this song. Oh, no. No.
Run that track.
Knock it off. You know, we're going to close it out with some Hyena Fever. You can't go wrong with Hyena Fever. Surely Hyena Fever is on here. Here we are. Y'all, thanks for watching. I will work with you tonight. I'll catch you during Sandy.
First time that I saw you, thought I lost you, haven't even found you. Did it ever cross your mind it would be this cool? Playing no fool, thinking that I got you. Lose my mind with the times. Dancing with you make me wanna press rewind. Hyena fever, I'm a believer. You got the animal in me, I'm gonna release it. fire inside of you. I see red, I see blue, I see every kind of color in you. Check it. I wanna dance with you. Let's ride to the beat, let's groove. This body gonna make you move. Let's ride to the crystal blue. Oh, I wanna dance with you. Let's ride to the beat, let's groove. This body gonna make you move. Let's ride to the crystal blue. Oh, lose my mind with the times. Dancing, you make me wanna press rewind. High in a fever, I would believe it. You got the animal in me, I'm gonna release it.
And WYCD Wicked goofing off on a Tuesday. We're going to Environmental Coffee House.
My hyenas of fever. My hyenas of fever. My hyenas of fever.
About 6 seconds.
My hyenas